Hey California, you've got some new ethics rules to learn. Isn't that great? I mean, it's not like you had anything else to do today, right? My name is Stuart Teicher and I teach ethics lessons to lawyers and the professional development people who love them. Recently, the California Supreme Court did a massive overhaul of the ethics rules for lawyers. That is super exciting, right? I know. But it's important. As you know, for years, California had a unique way of dealing with ethics rules. You had section 6068E on confidentiality, for example, and that came from the Business and Professions Code. But you also had the California Rules on Professional Conduct, which had sections like 3-100 and 3-110 and all that other kinds of stuff. All the while, the rest of the country had some derivation of the 1983 Model Code from the American Bar Association. Well, after years and years and years, the California Supreme Court has adopted some of those rules, but what makes it interesting is that they didn't adopt them just outright. Imagine if California took its Business and Professions Code and its rules on professional conduct and then took the ABA rules, they mixed them all together, they jumbled them together, and then they kind of put them all together in the same code? That's sort of what you got. By the way, I'm sure you've actually seen the headlines already for these new rules, except it didn't say, Supreme Court adopts new rules. What it said was, yeah, exactly. There were a gazillion rules in this amendment, but that one little tiny one got the headlines. Because hashtag sex sells. Some particular sections, like the rule on confidentiality, are going to really resemble your rules on professional conduct. Other sections, like conflicts, are going to have some things from the old code and then also have new stuff from the ABA. And it's very important that you take a look at these new rules because they use new terms of art that you might not be familiar with. Just to give you an example of what I mean, let's take a look at Rule 1.7. That's the ABA numbering. Rule 1.7 deals with conflicts of interest among current clients. And when you look at the new rule, you'll see some terms of art that come directly from the ABA version of the code that you might not recognize. So things like directly adverse or a significant risk of a material limitation. Those types of phrases come from the ABA rules, and you've got to understand what they mean because they're now in the California code. If I were a lawyer in California, or one of the professional development people who love them, I would either get into or create a course that deals with these rules right away so that you can start to acclimate your lawyers to the new code sections. You might want to start off with a few key provisions. 1.7 and 1.9 on conflicts, 1.2 on the allocation of decision-making authority between lawyer and client, 1.16 on withdrawal, and 1.13 when representing an organization. There are plenty of other sections to focus on, but that's a good place to start because there are some really important developments in those particular rules. If you need any help, give me a call. My name is Stuart Teicher and I call myself the CLE Performer because I know we need to get critical content, but wouldn't it be a novel idea to stay awake in the process?